Hey, yo, what up, everybody? It's your boy. I'm back. Episode 6. I got my boy Matt with me here.
I'm Matt.
We got a lot of shit to talk about, like a whole lot of shit. So we're just gonna jump right into it. Have a little bit of conversation, see if we can kind of get you guys hip to the game on a couple things. The first thing, I know we just watched it, but I want to know what you think about that Joker trailer we just watched.
Oh man, the Joker trailer. So I was already hyped for the movie whenever I found out it was going to be rated R. I was like, oh yeah, okay. Definitely count me in for that. Mm-hmm. Joaquin Phoenix, we already know, is a phenomenal actor.
Yep.
But that trailer really sold it. I've been seeing I've been seeing a lot of hype and around people saying like this is like an Oscar-worthy performance. Mm-hmm. And after seeing that trailer, like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
I think for me, it really drove it home when I saw just how he changed his body and the way he looks and how much weight he lost.
And he said he started to go mad with how much weight that he lost.
I believe it because he's so sunken in and he like really looks like what the Joker would look like in real life. So I really like that.
Is this role cursed?
I don't know, man. I hope not, because I really enjoy Joaquin Phoenix and I like his movies a lot. So I hope not, but I think when I saw his body, and obviously when you hear the laugh for the first time,
and his mannerisms, like the idiosyncrasies that he's kind of developed for the role.
Oh yeah,
oh man, I cannot wait for that.
Shit's gonna be good. So, everybody, if you haven't watched the Joker trailer, get on YouTube. Just search Joker movie. It's the last trailer for the movie before it comes out, and I think it comes out in October, either October or November. Honestly, I don't know, but whenever it comes out, I know I'm definitely gonna go watch it.
Absolutely,
yeah, because that shit's gonna be amazing. One thing, or the next thing I wanted to jump into was The Boys, because we never got a chance to talk to everybody else about The Boys. We've talked about it. We watched the whole season, but what'd you think, man?
I think so. I mean, is this gonna have like? Should we do a spoiler warning?
Yeah, listen, if you haven't watched The Boys by now, like I don't care. Like you should have been watching it.
So spoiler warning.
Here we go.
So Homelander,
fucking psychopath,
bro. Like, okay, his
he's so
entire
crazy.
his entire backstory and his entire like what they're gonna do with that.
Yeah, man,
is absolutely insane. Like with how it ended with like Butcher's wife.
Yep.
Like. She had his kid.
Yep.
And like she wasn't raped. Like that was
she
insane.
wanted the D.
Yes,
she wanted the superhero D.
Man, but like whenever like you go through like so much of the season with where Butcher's literally like where Homelander's like, do you have any evidence?
Yeah. When they got to the end, it's like, why are you even mad at me? Like, what? Do you know for a fact that I raped her? Or like how do you know?
So going through that whole, like the whole season, and I'm kind of like, holy shit, he's right.
Yeah,
he doesn't have any evidence.
Yeah,
and I think like that, like the very last episode, man, like really wrapped it all up.
Yeah,
really, really well. I'm really excited to see what they do with the girl that they got from the islands.
Yeah,
how like she's immortal essentially.
Yeah.
Like, and I think how they. They really delved into her like backstory with how they're giving the like enemy powers so that those superheroes can fight more.
Yeah,
and they'll be needed more. And
spearheaded by Homelander, he was the one that was flying around.
Yeah,
giving them the stuff. I think one of my favorite parts of the whole season was the airplane. When he's on the airplane, he comes on, he's a superhero, and he's, oh, don't worry, everybody, you're going to be fine, and then in like drop of a dime, I'll laser every single fucking one of you, and it's like, oh, he's crazy. He's like crazy.
Yeah, crazy.
Like, that shit was so good. Homelander obviously was the bomb. What was the girl's name? Starlight,
I think.
Some star I wish I see tonight. I don't know. Yeah. Some shit. But I like her story a lot too, because I think my favorite thing about the show overall is I think if we had superheroes, this is how it would be.
Like the part whenever the head of the like all the seven or whatever the woman is, how she was negotiating with that mayor, where she's like, hey, you know what? We've like measured your demographic. We think that he'll have like a X amount of percentage approval rating with your demographic of your city. We can offer him to you.
Yeah, because it was Baltimore.
Yeah.
And it was Baltimore. They wanted to send a black superhero there.
Yeah. It's like, but
not like a too militant superhero.
Right.
But then not like super whitewashed. They wanted somebody like perfectly
like
for
a
that
perfect
market.
target demographic, like, and they're like, we think, and we can do it for this much, like millions of dollars. And he's like, what? You're crazy. Like, so,
negotiating to get superhero protection.
Right. Like,
it's wild.
That's exactly what it would be like.
Yeah.
Like they would be a
realistically,
commodity.
it would be
a
corporation running it and paying for these people because maybe not if it was a natural thing, but since we know now that none of these people were natural and that this corporation was creating superheroes,
right?
So it just helped to open up a brand new revenue stream for them. And I just thought it was great how they incorporated all the sponsorships and public events they have to show up to and all of that kind of stuff.
It had a very Watchmen feel to it.
It did.
With how the heroes, like, sort of, because they're definitely far from perfect.
Yeah.
You even see, who was, I can't remember her name, but the Wonder Woman kind of sort of character, like, struggling internally with, like, what's going on. Like,
how about, like, she has to struggle with the superhero thing and the Homelander thing, but then also she can't even like be herself, like she was gay, but then they wanted her to hide it because she wouldn't be as marketable. Like that's insane. Like the writing of the show, and I never even heard of the comics.
Me neither.
Before then, but I just know the writing in this show.
I know they did make some changes from what I've heard, and like a lot of
people
are saying
down
like
some of the gore too.
Yeah, and I'm even hearing that some people are saying like that the show was almost better than the comics.
Really?
Yeah, there are some people that are out there saying like that it was better and well done.
Yeah, see, that shit was amazing.
And even like the Star Girl or whatever, like how they were changing her costume up.
Yeah,
and like
they like made it more sexy.
Yep.
Turned into like a one-piece leotard with a deep V.
Yeah.
She was like, "What? That's not who I am."
And even what's his face? The Deep.
Yeah.
Like that dude.
That dude got raped.
Yeah.
That dude got raped.
And the dolphin.
Dolphin.
The dolphin scene.
Listen,
when
you guys go watch The Boys, just remember the dolphin.
Yeah.
Remember
the dolphin episode
about it right here, and just remember the dolphin. And do me a favor, if you watch this video and then you go and watch The Boys, when you get to the dolphin, send me a message.
Yep.
I just want to know what you thought about the dolphin.
Comment on this video, whatever. Just
you'll know exactly what we're talking about when we say the dolphin.
Holy shit.
I remember even in a group chat, it was like
the dolphin episode.
The dolphin. And then Nate watches it and he's like, the fucking dolphin.
Yeah. Oh, that is such, we're not going to spoil that.
Yeah. We'll spoil the end of the
great.
show. And I mean, you can still watch it. I mean, by now everybody knows what happens at the end, but it was really good. But no, the dolphin was off the chain. What else? We've been watching Carnival Row. You just finished it.
I finished it.
I'm on episode 6 of Carnival Row.
Yeah.
Amazon Prime Video.
It did just launch Labor Day weekend.
Yeah.
So it just came
so
out.
You still got time. So we won't spoil it, or he won't spoil it.
Yeah.
But it's a really good show. It's a great original story.
Orlando Bloom kills his role.
He does.
He does a phenomenal job of playing this. He is the lead investigator for this. This. So it takes place. It's like, geez, what are we thinking? Like,
what era?
Yeah, like
I don't
late
know.
1800s, early 1900s. Gotta be.
Well, it's funny because it's like you get that feel, but then when you get to like the hoity-toity society, it kind of feels like more like Elizabethan. Like
so like there's a like electricity is just being discovered.
Yeah,
and being like kind of like put onto the scene. Mm-hmm. So it's still very like gas lamps and stuff like that. So whatever era that is, maybe Industrial Revolution, I'm thinking around there. Mm-hmm. But it takes place in what's called the Burg, which is, I'm assuming it's in Britain, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think by the clouds everywhere and all the dirty ass streets, we can assume that's probably Britain or some type of Britain.
And the way they say shite.
Yeah, shite.
Is that Britain or that? I don't know. Regardless,
is that Irish?
I don't know. I think it might be Irish.
That's Irish.
I don't know.
If you know what that is, let us know.
That'd be great. Yeah. Pardon our ignorance. But so it takes place, like I said, it's just like kind of, I think maybe pre-industrial revolution time, where he's the lead investigator, and he is basically like, there's this huge divide between like normal humans and the fae, the pugs, and the critch. Yeah. So, and all these are like mythical creatures. So you have like, what is it? Centaur? No, minotaurs, right? You have like fairies that are like humans, but then they have like hollow bones and they have wings and shit like that. You got the pucks that have the horns and like they look like ram heads. But anyway, there's this huge like social divide, and they're very heavily discriminated against and everything like that. So basically, Orlando Bloom's character is an investigator working with the police, who the police do discriminate against heavily, but he tries to keep it so that it's like fair. You know, he's the one that represents them. He's their point of contact and stuff like that.
It's like that one cop who might be, if it's like a hood neighborhood with like black people and then like an all white like police force. Yeah. It's like that one cop who's like, okay, not all black people are bad. Like, we don't got to shoot them all. He's like that guy. So he's like the hero.
So there's really good, like very dark undertones, which I really like.
Yeah.
And
gorier than what else. Well, you said that in the beginning.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of got me onto it. I was like, oh, if it's dark and gory, I'm all about that. And then Cara Delevingne. I don't know how to say her name.
But yeah,
she's great. She's pretty great.
Yeah.
But I think she acts really well too. And it she does a good job. And like I said, I'm only on episode 6 and I've been enjoying.
Yeah, so you've got 2 episodes left, and like they again, like kind of the feel I'm getting from these Amazon Prime is that like they wrap things up pretty well. Yeah. But they leave so much open for like, oh my God, what's gonna happen next? Like, oh my God, I need to know what's gonna happen next. Like,
so hold on, wait, side note. So what I just realized is on Amazon Prime Video, I don't know how long Amazon Prime Video has been around, but since I've had Amazon Prime, there's 3 shows now that are really damn good. Jack Reacher was really good. We got Carnival Row. We got The Boys.
The Grand Tour.
But then you just started watching Hannah.
I just started watching Hannah.
I'll probably start watching Hannah when I finish Carnival Row.
Yeah, Hannah's really solid.
Are they killing it?
They are. Like, they really are, man.
Killing shit right now.
I don't think they get enough credit.
Yeah.
I mean, The Boys is probably their most critically acclaimed from what I've read. That was the show that got them the most views for any show that they've ever put out.
And it like snuck up on people too. Like, I don't think anybody was really expecting it. And then it was just like, bam, the shit was really good.
There's another one called Good Omens. Pretty solid.
That's about the angel and the demon.
Yes.
Yeah, someone told me about that show weeks ago, and I never watched it.
Really good. The demon, I liked him as an actor. I cannot remember his name, but I like him as an actor, and it's really, really solid show. It's such an interesting take on like the whole like angel dynamic and angel and heaven and hell and everything like that. Thoroughly enjoyed that show.
I have to check it out.
Yeah, but Hannah so far is phenomenal.
So is Amazon Prime Video like edging out Netflix now?
I think Netflix has some serious competition.
Well, here's the thing. Like, every show I've watched on Amazon Prime Video, the quality of the show has been better than the quality of any show I've watched on Netflix, with the exception of Altered Carbon.
Yeah.
Altered Carbon was just a good quality show. But even the Marvel shows that we watch, they were good, but they weren't putting a lot of money into them overall.
I think Netflix is putting out more quantity.
Yeah.
You know, so like there are arguably some really good quality ones, but you know, out of let's say 100, right? Statistically speaking, that would be a lower percentage. But with Amazon Prime, with some of the stuff that they've been putting out, like it's been 10 out of 10s. Like, so they might be putting out less, but I think they're investing way more into their stuff. You know?
Because they Seth Rogen, who I guess is an executive producer of The Boys, he did an interview and he was talking about season 2, and he said Amazon gave them a dump truck. Dump truck load of money.
Yeah.
like, I mean, I guess they would have it of anybody. Like, they would actually have the capital to invest into it.
Absolutely.
So that's pretty exciting. But then we also got Disney Plus coming in November, which I'm extra excited about.
Yep.
I can only imagine the quality of those shows. I mean, granted, we're going to get all the Marvel stuff, which is kind of on the back burner for both of us, because the main thing we want to watch is The Mandalorian.
Which, by the way, just looking at that trailer, like...
That's the #1 show I want to watch out of all these new shows coming out. The Mandalorian looks so damn good. And Pedro Pascal has already been the man. He was the man way back when on Game of Thrones, when he was Oberyn Martell, my all-time favorite, second all-time favorite character on Game of Thrones. But... he's the man, and that looks really good, and it looks like quality. So I guess like only thing I'm wondering now is, are all the shows on Disney Plus going to be to that standard?
I think
that quality.
I really do think so, because again, if we're talking about Amazon having the capital to fund it, Disney is going
Definitely
to have
has
the
capital.
you know. So I'm not truly concerned about that.
Yeah.
But I definitely think Netflix better
They're losing some
step their
ground.
shit up.
They gotta just. I think it's like you said. I think it's their quantity. They're putting out a lot,
'Cause, like,
but
okay,
they gotta scale it back.
Like South Park kind of made like a joke, right? About and whenever they were doing their Coon and Friends episodes and everything like that, and they were talking about like, so Cartman's superhero team, right? They were gonna try to put out and get a Netflix series, because the joke in the show is that Netflix will literally give a series to anyone.
anybody. Yeah.
So they call up and they're like, "Hey, you know, we're wanting to do a," and he's like, "Hey," and they pitch some ridiculous thing. Like they pan to one caller and they're like, "Okay, we can greenlight you for 14 episodes. We're thinking an origin story, blah blah blah. Okay, we'll do it for this many minutes. Okay, good." And then Cartman calls and he's like, "Okay, we've got a superhero franchise we want to get," and he's like, "Okay, but we greenlight it for blah blah blah." And he's like, "No, we want two origin stories. We want." So the joke is that Netflix just
Greenlight's everything.
Yeah.
Side note. That just made me think about something. Did you hear about the He-Man anime coming to Netflix?
no.
So they're doing a He-Man anime, and it's being done by Kevin Smith. Yeah, like Silent Bob Kevin Smith. So I listen to his podcast pretty regularly because it's one of my favorite ones. But it's like, I think he uploads like every week and a half or whatever. But it's really, really good. And forever he's been hinting, him and the other guy he does the podcast with is like a TV writer. But they've been talking about they had this project and they couldn't tell anybody about it. Well, at one of the cons, maybe 3 weeks ago, they announced it. It's going to be He-Man. They're going to continue the story from like when we were all kids, but it's going to be done in anime. And it's going to have a whole lot of action. Like a lot of action. The same animators that did Castlevania are doing it. Yeah, man.
Castlevania.
Yeah, man. Castlevania might be like the best show on Netflix.
Bro, like Castlevania.
So good.
Yeah.
So
that show. They need to keep doing that.
Yeah, so Kevin Smith, I forget the name of the writer that he works with. And then there's 3 other writers who have worked on really big things and things that like everybody likes, and they all came together and they did. I forget, he didn't say how many episodes were all together, but yeah, it's gonna be a He-Man anime coming soon. So
Netflix also has that Avatar reboot coming.
you have an Avatar reboot?
Yeah,
like Avatar,
like the Avatar: The Last Airbender. Oh, yeah. So, but the thing is, the reason that a lot of people are hyped about it, which real talk, pretty hyped about it. I'm gonna watch that shit because the animated was so good.
Yeah.
But they got the original like writers involved, the original sound design.
Okay.
So they're actually like they're doing it. It's not gonna be like that. I didn't even watch the movie, but Avatar: The Last Airbender movie or something like that.
I watched the movie. I think I'm the only person on the planet that kind of liked the movie, but then I also didn't
Okay,
watch
so
the
I've heard it was garbage. I've heard it's terrible, but a lot of fans are really hyped about this Avatar: Last Airbender show coming to Netflix because apparently they're like really taking their time with it. So
Okay. Yeah, I never watched any of the animated, but yeah, I watched the movie. I remember the animated, and actually, Shari's brother D was telling me way back when to start watching the show, and I never did watch it. So
it's really good. Like the depth in the character development, I think is really solid.
Yeah.
And just the take on the thing as a whole. Really enjoy it.
all right, so let's talk about Dave Chappelle.
Okay.
Right, let's talk about his special. Let's talk about the annihilation of bitch assness and how everybody is sensitive.
Yes.
Well, I feel like everybody's either sensitive or they just know everything there is to know about everything.
Yeah.
And because they know everything, they're sensitive.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So what he's talking about, right, is that if you guys look, there are 2. I really don't want to say news publications because I don't consider BuzzFeed news, but BuzzFeed,
BuzzFeed's not news.
Yeah, BuzzFeed of all places said that the new Dave Chappelle stand up you can skip it. They also Vice magazine also said it's not worth watching. And there's a few things that stand out in a stand up that they discuss.
Oh, okay.
So the first one that they talk about, I think BuzzFeed talks about this, was whenever he's discussing the Michael Jackson cases going on. And there's a part whenever he says, he's like, Michael Jackson's been dead 10 years, and he got 2 more cases. And he says, you know what? I don't believe him. Yeah. So I think BuzzFeed talks about... Okay, just full disclosure, if you haven't watched it, you will laugh at things that you're going to feel really bad about laughing at.
You'll look around and be like...
I live alone, and I laughed out loud, and I had to look around to make sure no one saw me laughing at that joke. But it is a phenomenal stand-up. He calls out so much shit. He even goes on and talks about how whenever he's doing his impressions, and he says, all right, this next impression you're gonna have to guess. And he's like, okay, you ready? Duh. If you do anything wrong ever in your life, I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna ruin you. And he's like, can you guess who I am? That's you, the audience. He says, because y'all are the hardest motherfuckers I've ever had to take. Yeah. And he's right. Like, man, we're in cancel culture, dude. Like, it is okay to try and like destroy careers of people for something they said 10, 15 years ago.
Here's the thing. This is my opinion on it. If it's some old ultra racist shit, then I get that. I understand it. But I don't think we could take like comedians. Yeah. Right? So like if you're a comedian, I always thought like part of their thing was pushing the boundary and saying shit to make us last.
Finding that line, dancing on it.
And I mean, if none of these comedians are trying to go be president of the United States, or they're not trying to be a governor somewhere, they're entertainers, they're comedians, they're supposed to be pushing the boundaries. Great comedians have always pushed the boundaries. I don't really care about some comedian who said some kind of sensitive joke 10 years ago. Like, we all know times have changed.
The example he uses is that Kevin Hart said he was gonna break a dollhouse over his son's head if he did any gay shit.
Exactly.
What?
Like he said. First of all, it's ridiculous because he would have to go buy the dollhouse
for him to begin with. Just smash it over his head. Yeah.
Clearly, it's a joke. So if you were one of the people that got upset with Kevin Hart off of some shit like that, I'm sorry. You're living a bitch ass life.
You shouldn't be watching this.
Yeah, definitely don't watch me.
Yeah, don't listen to
this.
Well, no,
watch me and share it and talk about how bad you hate me. Yeah. For saying that you're on some bitch ass shit. But I just don't get it. I don't understand. To me, it's just not that serious. They're comedians. And I just feel like people are just too damn sensitive. Yeah. I want people to be empathetic, right? I don't want anybody to be bullied. I don't want anybody to be made fun of because of their lifestyle or who they decide to sleep with and live with. I don't care about any of that. But we all need to know how to have a little bit of fun and laugh a little bit.
And I think this is a good... And that's why this stand-up came at a really good time.
I think so.
I think it did. Like, he definitely pushes the boundary on comedy and what you can and cannot laugh at. Yeah. Bro, he called the gay community the alphabet people. Oh, my God.
Even when he said it, I was like...
He says, the group that took 20% of the alphabet for their...
when he the whole thing was funny, but the Q part really got me. The Q part, because what he say, it was some middle-aged white guy in biker shorts or booty shorts or something.
He says, and the Q is hitchhiking, and he's some white dude in booty shorts, and he's walking like this, and he's like,
he said, "Hey, I don't know where you guys are going, but I think I belong right there.
I know for sure I belong in this car." So he has to sit between the T and the B.
But it's funny. Yeah. It's fun. None of it is malicious. And I talked about this on the last show. It's not from a really negative, malicious place. It's just jokes. Like in our group chat, we make all kind of crazy jokes that I'll never be able to share on here because I'll be blocked on everything. But one of my favorite gifts to share is the "that's racist" gift.
Oh, yeah.
But like somebody took that gift and made it more racist, but then that made it more funny because it's the little boy who screamed, "That's racist!" But in the gift, they altered it so he has on a gold chain. he has a piece of watermelon and a piece of fried chicken in his hands.
That's hilarious.
It's like, that's racist. And it's like, it's a joke. It's funny. Like, granted, there are racists out there. Trust me, I know. Right? There's racists out there, but sometimes it's just about having a little bit of fun and just
like the
joking
ones that
around.
attacked Juicy Smoulier.
Man, listen. Justice for Juicy. I said it last week. I'm going to say it this week. Justice for Juicy. Juicy Smoulier.
Those Nigerians in their MAGA hats.
Man, listen. When he got to that part, I laughed so
The
hard.
part when he said, can you check the whereabouts of Kanye West last night? I died at that
when
part.
He said, when he talked about the cop who had to interview him. Oh, okay.
The chief inspector? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Left your house at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Negative 16 degrees.
Negative 16.
Okay.
Going to Subway.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
They're wearing MAGA hats in Chicago. Listen, if you haven't watched it, for the love of God, watch it.
But did you ever see, could you know, like, the cops' body cam footage was released, and they're, like, in Juicy's house. And he still had the rope.
Yeah, he still had it.
First of all, it's not even a rope that you would string somebody up with. Like, it basically just looks like a really long-ass shoestring.
Yeah.
And he's, like, looking confused, and he's acting really, really well. And the whole thing is an embarrassment. Here's the thing that, like, makes me upset about that. One, there are people out there who really get their asses beat, who get killed, who have horrible things that happen to them.
Who can't get married at a particular venue because they're interracial marriage.
Yeah, there's people out there really going through stuff. Like, there are actual real life trans people, right, who are murdered and killed all the time. So when you start playing the gay card and the black card, all to kind of advance your personal agenda, like, you're a piece of shit. Like, that shit really, really happens. Like, another side note. So this show comes on Ep.6. It's called Pose, right? Okay. And it's basically about, I think it's in the 80s, early 90s. And it's about, like, the gay and trans world in New York. And it's just about certain characters and then just, like, their everyday lives. And it talks about, like, the birth of, like, ballroom and voguing and all this. So, like, Shari watches it, and if it's on, like, if she's watching, I'll watch it too because the shit is hilarious. But, like, there was a character in that show who was a trans woman who literally was killed by a guy because he was ashamed that he was, like, attracted to a trans woman.
Oh my God.
Literally murdered. And, like, that's a real thing, and it happens all the time. So, like,
so you don't need, like, so Juicy doesn't need to, like, bring this to light. Like, the shit's already going on.
Here's the thing. Like, or you don't need to make a spectacle of it when there's people out there really living through horrible shit and really having horrible shit done to themselves. Like, that's fucked up.
For things that are completely out of their control.
Exactly. Yeah. So, like, that whole thing with him, like, I hope his career is over. I hope he doesn't get paid. Anything else. I hope the Chicago Police Department sue him, and I hope he has to pay them because that's all some bullshit.
I think they were suing him last I checked.
I hope so. I hope so, man. No justice for Juicy. How about that? Let's talk about what we were talking about earlier.
Oh, the Bugatti breaking the record. Yeah, that's right.
No, we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how the earth is flat.
All right, guys. Thank you for having me on, Niger. I'm happy to take part in this up until this part.
Earth is flat.
So, yeah.
Okay. So we've had this conversation plenty of times.
A lot.
We've had this conversation with another friend of ours, also,
who shall remain unnamed.
He knows who he is.
You know who you are.
But here's what I don't understand, and this is what we were talking about a little while ago, off camera. What's the agenda, right, for trying to get people to think the Earth is flat? What's for what? What's the game?
I truly don't know. Like I said, there is this conspiracy in that flat Earth community that the airlines in some way, shape, or form benefit from a round Earth model, and the airlines. The airlines. Don't you dare.
Okay.
Don't you dare.
Okay.
If you bring that bastard up.
I'm just saying, man.
Listen.
They both are in the air. I'm just saying.
I'm going to put hands on you in this podcast. So.
It's the elves.
The airlines somehow benefit. for those of you that would like to go into this rabbit hole when you're bored at midnight staring at your phone, just go on YouTube and look up just type in flat Earth shit. It's really funny. But that's
well, talk to me about people who say they want pictures to prove the Earth is flat, and then when they see pictures, in the bottom left-hand corner or right-hand corner says composite.
Okay, so Neil deGrasse Tyson.
What's that mean?
So Neil deGrasse Tyson brought this up on a podcast, and he talks about like he can go to someone who believes the Earth is flat and say, "Hey, what would it take for you to believe the Earth is round?" And their response would be pictures. And he's like, "Oh, hey, by the way, we have satellite imaging and there's pictures." And they're like, "Well, no, those are fake because it says composite." Okay,
composite.
So
what's composite mean?
Composite. Okay, everyone in this day and age has a smartphone now. Okay, so if you go ahead, if you open up your camera, click panorama, and take a panorama photo, because what your phone is doing is taking a bunch of composite photos because the area you're trying to photograph is too large to fit into frame. So your camera will then take those composite photos and create the image of the whole image. Together. Exactly.
So since the Earth is so big,
and
we're so small, we have to send something out to take a lot of pictures of the Earth, and then it puts those pictures together to give us one composite image of the Earth.
So,
but that doesn't prove anything, because that just means it's just a plate, right? We're just a plate in the air. All the other planets.
I know, it's weird how all the other planets are round. That's kind of crazy how that worked out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the thing. If you believe the Earth is flat, number one, message me, because I need to invite you over so we can have this conversation.
Can we have a licensed physician present?
I don't think
I want to do brain scans. I want to do brain scans.
Yeah.
I really do.
A whole MRI machine. I don't get it. I don't understand. I don't know what the benefit would be.
Did you know that the World Health Organization classifies people that believe in conspiracies with a certain brain sort of like, I'm not going to say disorder, but there are like...
It probably is a disorder.
Yeah. Because there's one conspiracy I firmly believe. The mattress one with mattress firms.
Oh, that's
true. Yeah, that's fact.
I don't even want to talk about it. We might get taken out.
You know what? Yeah. Guys, you know what? Never mind.
Listen.
Forget that I said anything.
Listen. We didn't say anything about mattress firm. We're not even going to talk about it, because I 100% believe that.
Yeah.
Like, yeesh. Watch, somebody's going to knock at the door. Doom, doom, doom. Hey, it's Jim from mattress firm.
No thanks. Stop by, check on the quality of the mattress you have right now.
Yeah, right. No thanks. And then mess around and get buried in one.
Yeah.
So we talked a little bit about flat earthers and just how those things make no sense. I know earlier we talked about the Trump thing. I know earlier we talked about the Trump thing, but I don't know.
At this point, what is there to say?
What is there to say?
He's literally talking himself into a grave that is he's never going to be buried in. Ever. That's just the reality.
The guy he's on some other shit.
His supporters are on some other shit. Them and flat earthers. Trump supporters and flat earthers. I think we can conclude they're the same. It's the
Definitely
same frame
the
of
same
mind.
Person.
Yeah. It's the same thought process.
If you support Trump, that means you don't support intelligence or logic.
Yeah.
So that means you. It's not even like the Earth is flat.
It's not even that people that don't support Trump have to make up shit about him to shit on his name and like make him look bad. He just speaks and does that. Like he literally gets caught in lies.
Yeah. I mean,
regularly.
Sometimes the shit he says is kind of funny, but it's like, it's funny because it's like, if you don't laugh, you're just like, oh God, we're doomed.
Yeah. This is the leader of the free world. This is why other countries are laughing at us.
Trump, man.
Oh man.
Yeah. If you're watching this, you probably are friends with me, so that means you probably don't support Trump. But if you do support Trump, I mean, why?
Let's have a conversation.
Why? How? I don't understand. I mean, whatever. I don't know. What else has been happening out there in the world?
I mean, Bugatti finally broke the record for 300 miles per hour. First car to break that. Break that record.
How much is that car?
That particular car you won't ever have because it's a one-off, because they squeezed about 1,500 horsepower
Great.
But it's probably about a $2 million car. It's the Bugatti Chiron.
$2 million for a car.
Couple really things really quick. Some interesting statistics on that. So 300 miles an hour. The tires, they were provided by Michelin. They had to be X-rayed prior to make sure there were no imperfections. They were also reinforced with steel cable, make sure they were strong enough to withstand the speeds. So the car went 304.77 miles an hour. No production car has done that yet. Bugatti's the first one. At 304 miles an hour, you can travel 40 miles in 8 minutes. At 304 miles an hour, the tires are rotating 1,400 times per minute.
Let's say you're traveling 300 miles an hour.
Right.
Let's say you hit a possum in the road.
I don't want to think about it.
Does your car blow up, or does the possum just...
I think it's like in The Boys, where a train runs through her and it just disintegrates.
Yeah.
I think that's what would happen.
Huh. That's kind of stuff I'm interested in.
Yeah. Bugatti did mic drop, though, because they said... Because the race was between Koenigsegg with their new Jesco to hit 300 and Bugatti, essentially. And Bugatti literally went on record as saying, we're going to drop out of being the world's fastest car. We're going to focus on something different because we have proven time and time again we are the fastest.
How are you so good that you say I'm not even going to compete anymore?
Yeah, they said we're done.
Like, you assholes are so far behind
Bugatti
me.
SUV. Watch, Bugatti SUV coming out. $2 million SUV. You ready for this?
That should be 3.
Oh, easy.
Oh, my God, a Bugatti SUV. For what?
The seats will be made of baby seal.
Right? Speaking of baby seal, my new favorite thing to do is watch videos on Reddit. Nature is brutal.
Nature is metal.
Nature is metal, but nature is brutal. It's even worse than
I
nature
don't
is
watch
metal.
some of the clips you send because I can't.
Love those clips. Listen, the clip with the 3 dogs ripping a chicken apart.
Savage. Yeah.
It was crazy.
That's a no for me, dog.
There was a clip of a seal ripping a penguin's head off.
Yeah, did see that.
Like, what?
And you think like seals, oh, they're so cute. Those things are fucking savage.
Did you see the video of the orcas ripping the tongue out of the other whale?
No.
So, like, I forget what kind of whale it is, but it's like orcas, like, only eat their tongues. They don't even eat their whole bodies. So, like, a pod of orcas will, like, surround it, and it's a big-ass whale. And they'll, like, get a bite of its tongue, and then they start rolling, and then they rip the tongue out of its mouth. And then they eat the tongue, and then the orca just bleeds out. Or not the orca, but the other whale just bleeds out. So there's a video overhead of these orcas attacking this thing, and then you see the orca start rolling, and, like, then you just see blood everywhere in the water.
I think this is a
awesome.
good place to end this discussion.
If you're on Reddit,
I won't be on any podcast going forward to talk about this
metal,
stuff.
Nature is fucking
R
lit.
slash aw if you want to see cute puppies and kittens.
Nah.
R
You wanna see
slash
some
eye
crazy
bleach
shit?
if you want to see a baby cow playing with a dog.
Nope.
Do not listen to this psychopath.
It's good. Some good shit. But no, I think you're right. This is a good place to stop. This was
let's stop there.
This was episode 6. I'd like to thank Matt for coming out and being my boy once again.
I got you, fam.
Well, thank you. Oh, obviously you guys see like a new setup here. This is another temporary setup. It's all working towards something.